Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show for the fans by a fan. Welcome into this, the 38th episode of the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. I am Casper, the host, here with JP, D-Watt. It's another wonderful Monday evening, gentlemen. We've entered the month of October. This is the last podcast where JP's going to be under the age of 35. So his birthday's on Thursday. I think he's going to be 37. So we'll see how that goes for him. We'll see how that goes for him. But, October's a great time. Ready for it to cool off. It hasn't done that yet, but I'm ready for that. So y'all doing all right this evening?
Oh, yeah. Doing good.
Anything good I need to know about your lives over the weekend, or just same old, same old?
Oh, it's pretty simple for me. We just took it easy and stay at the house mostly. Not much for me.
I like it. We went to the Oaks Farm up here in Blaine, Tennessee. Did a little bit of that basic white girl Instagram stuff. Went up there, did that. Got a pumpkin. $6. I didn't feel like that was too bad. They had this apple cannon thing this year, and the wife decided that she was going to pay for all the nieces and nephews to take turns shooting the apple cannon, which was pretty awesome. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's like 4-inch pipe. You just shove an apple in it, press the button, and the air shoots it like a potato gun. I mean, it's pretty awesome, really. They had Florida Gator signs. They had Alabama signs. They had propane tanks hanging up down there. So you could shoot pretty much whatever you wanted, which was cool. Looked like they had a good time. I did not partake. I let the kids have fun, even though I was secretly thinking about going back up there after they left by myself. So, other than that, I just watched a lot of racing, a lot of football. A lot of football this weekend for me, too. I'm just going to be honest with you. I stayed up like a 12-year-old till 2:30, 1:30 Friday and Saturday night watching West Coast games. So, should have known better. I felt a little bit like D-Watt. I'm sure he was up late watching Coach Prime on Saturday, weren't you? Yeah, I know you were excited. Poor guy, hopefully his foot's okay. I don't know if y'all saw, but he's out there coaching without a shoe on. So
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, I figure your dad really likes Coach Prime. You know, I figured he's a big fan. Kind of like my dad and everybody's dad. So, does interest see them out there. But I watched USF, our old offensive coordinator up here in Knoxville, goalish out there just winning football games. But anyways, this is not a football podcast. JP don't even know what an end zone is, so we're gonna go on down the road to some racing. News of the week. Let's see. First of all, this is a highlight from JP. He sent me and DY earlier in the week. Roger Penske did confirm this week that NASCAR is saving the team's money and has enhanced racing with the next-gen car.
Roger Penske has seen a single damn next-gen NASCAR race. I want whatever he's smoking. I mean,
just kind of clear it up. Like, in the whole thing there for the lawsuit situation, they basically wanted Roger and all the team owners to essentially say that NASCAR is great people and anybody that goes against them is wrong and all this stuff. And, that's all fine and dandy. But, if I won the championship the last 2 years, I probably would say it's, not too bad, right? Or last 3 years or how many ever they've won. So, the guy sitting over there in the Menard shirt spent plenty of money with Roger Penske, so he's glad to see it. So, I thought that was funny. It's weird. I'll go ahead and do the update here on the 2311 thing. So, they have all the teams basically say, please stop your lawsuit. We don't want to get fined. We don't want to run out of money when the sport falls apart. So, at the end of the day, this lawsuit, nobody wins in this thing if this thing goes to court, is my opinion. It's going to end up being bad because at the end of the day, if they go to court at 2311 and Front Row Motorsports lose, they're done. Like, no charter. They're never going to be granted a charter again. I don't see that being a thing. I think if it goes to court, the time to settle is over. So, kind of curious to see what happens with that, but I don't know. It sounds like these lawyers are pretty well dug in. They have all the teams kind of going to bat for NASCAR, and the teams obviously, I mean, it really is potentially going to hurt their financials if they lose Michael Jordan, and it's just, it could be a bad look on the sport. And I don't feel like these two sides are taking it very serious. Sometimes I feel like these lawyers, Jeffrey Kessler and them, are just trying to fight with each other, and like because they've done the NBA, NFL, MLB, like is this really that big of a case for them, or is this almost like a sideshow? And I'm afraid that they're just using it to fight with each other. And I just hope it doesn't actually go to trial. I think that would be bad for the sport. But I just want to point out, just don't forget, Front Row Motorsports is also involved in this lawsuit. Everybody talks about 2311 and Denny, obviously more famous, more money, all that. But that's a lot of charters going to open up and potential drivers out there, which we'll talk about later, and how that might have come into play later in the Cup race. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, JP, you got anything you want to talk about news-wise?
Not really.
Okay. D-Watt, you got anything you want to talk about news-wise?
Let's talk about the Dome a little bit. So I have not been, and we're going to go here in a couple of months. And it might be the biggest crowd ever. Biggest Dome crowd. So looking forward to get that experience. And some rumors are flying that Carson could run, which I heard is on Flow. So and this goes back to a few weeks. Do we see Coast and Horsefar run both the Dome and the Snowball Derby in the same weekend, Saturday, Sunday? So I'm curious on that. And the Coast and Host, I feel like he's got a chance to do both. I think he's going to do them. I think it's good for the sport to see these NASCAR guys want to come down and run some dirt and then go run some late models. Does he have the talent to win? We'll see. I think he'll be somewhat competitive in the Snowball, but I think hopefully he can make the show in the Dome, but we'll see how that goes. But hoping, we've seen some pictures of his late model on X, and we've seen some things here and there, so I like to kind of keep seeing some more information and a tease here and there, but at the same time I like to see like official news. I'm more of an official news kind of person than the teases, but I'll take anything I can get. And I'm curious on that, and I was curious what y'all thought if he could do both.
Yeah, real quick, first of all, Carson, if you're going to run that, we like Chili's a lot, so we're going to be in St. Louis, so if we can just jump on the plane with you after the Dome and head on down to Five Flags, that'd be pretty cool. It's JP's bachelor party, so, that's it. We'll just jump on the plane, eat some Chili's, ride the Dente. I guarantee you we can get JP a couple margs, get him up on that Dente machine, absolutely riding that thing like a cowgirl, okay? It'll make some great content. Second of all, I think he could do it, but I am, afraid for all the rest of the team owners if that's the case, because, that man could rack up $2 million of damage in 2 days if he goes to the Dome and Five Flags, to be honest.
Rack up $2 million of damage just at the Dome.
Yeah, he's a reckless individual. We saw him get into the back. Who did he get into this week? I don't remember. Was it Ty Dillon or something like that? I have it down there in the notes when we get there, but he goes hard all the time, and I love it. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. That'd be really cool if he did it. I think it'd be an awesome double. Other than that, I think that's about it. Ashton Winger gets a big win out there at Mars Tour. We're not really going to cover that. It's not our East Tennessee, Southeast region area. We're not going to talk about the Mars race, but I do like seeing a good old boy from the Southeast go out there and get the win at Falls. Winger's really started to take a liking this year after running the Hell Tour to get into those bull rings, man. He's running good, so congratulations to him on that. Addison Cardwell, local down there, took a pretty big flip at Mountain View. I did not see any video. I saw some pictures and video after. It looked like it was a pretty intense hit. It's never good when you flip a car, so we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. I guess that about wraps up the news for the weekend. We'll get in this dirt, a little bit of Lucas, and then I'll hand it over to D-Watt for that, and I'll do a little World of Outlaws. We can talk about that junk, and we'll do a little NASCAR. So y'all be sure to stick around for the NASCAR. If you don't like NASCAR, just skip to about 25 minutes in if you don't want to listen to the dirt part. It's better anyways. Trust me. Asphalt's just for getting there. But anyways, all right. D-Watt, take it away. Lucas Oil late models roll into Pittsburgh. Finish to get this chase rolling.
Yeah. So it's things are getting tight for the Lucas Oil series, point wise. Moran was needing a good weekend, and that's exactly what he got. So he starts on the pole on Friday night, and Thornton Jr. was out there on his heels throughout the night. Moran's on the pole, gets out front, leads back to lap 12. Here comes Thornton Jr. just ripping the wall on the outside. I thought he was getting pretty aggressive, and he was, but he got the lead and just overjumped the cushion and hit the wall with about 16 to go. Drives back to ninth, and Moran just got the lead out front and took off and got the win. So I'll talk more about my thought on some more things about Lucas Oil later on in the show. But so Moran wins that night. So now he's like, 5 points back going into Saturday night. So now he's got he's in his interview Friday night. It's which these guys spend a lot of money, and the owners spend a lot of money for these guys to compete to win. And it sounds like they're dumping whatever they got to do to spend money to win these races or run top three. So, and I, as a fan, whatever, I don't work in the sport. So, if these owners want to dump a bunch of money and to win these races, then do it. And I like Moran. I bought a shirt years ago, and I'm a fan of him. And even though he's a Buckeye, I still pull from him. And he might be my pick in 2 weeks at Eldora, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But Saturday, now JD's another driver that is competing for this points championship. He showed Saturday night that he's still around, and he'll have a little bit of, he'll probably needs some help or some luck at Eldora, but going to track like that, anybody can really win, and people can have issues with flats or whatnot. So we'll see how that takes place at Eldora. But Saturday night, JD takes the lead, and he looks strong and doesn't look back. And I've gotten on here in the past talk about these half-mile tracks. I'm not a big fan of them, but I thought it was very racy, and you could pass. And out of all the half-mile tracks, that's probably one of my favorites, minus where they're going in 2 weeks. But I just liked how you run top, you run the bottom. I thought it was a good crowd. Sometimes these tracks up north and Midwest and whatnot don't draw the best crowd for late models, but it was a very good. Pittsburgh drew a very good crowd, and it looked packed out in the parking lot from pictures I saw on X. And then all in all, it was a good weekend for Lucas Oil. I felt like good weather, all that good stuff. So basically, it comes down to can JD catch? Can he catch Thornton and Moran? As a fan, I really hope so. I really hope he can unload strong at Eldora and have something go his way. Overton, it's been a tough year. He got another new paint scheme. It's hard for me to keep up with his paint schemes, which he did pretty good the last couple of months, maybe, with his paint scheme, but keeping one. But I get it. These guys sell T-shirts. They make money, and it takes money to win races. So when I saw it, I texted y'all on the group chat. Here we go again, new paint scheme. But it looked fine.
I know you love that purple too. Don't lie. Purple's your favorite color on a race car. I know.
So going into Eldora, so it's a 5-point lead for Moran, and he's done what he's been needing to do over the last few weeks. So I think it's really going to be a really good championship race. I think might be the best in the last couple of years. I'm hoping so. Hoping it works out good with the weather, the track's how it should be. And I just hope at the end of the day that the best driver wins. And you just, as a fan, you just have to sit back and watch. And 5-point lead is almost like a tie. So they're going to go into it, and whoever maybe gets the best finish, ultimately probably going to win. But I'll talk about this a little bit later. It could come down to the hot lap situation. I guess they give points. They've done it all year, I guess. But I'll save all that for later. But hot lap points maybe aren't my favorite.
They get that for qualifying. They don't. The hot lap points are a separate award, so
okay.
No worries. That's 10 points for being fast time.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So, but that's pretty much wraps up the Lucas deal. All in all, it was a good weekend, and I watched both nights, and I thought it was good.
They got done in a timely manner.
It was moving really good. A Saturday night.
Yeah, Well, I wanted to ask your opinion. So, whenever Davenport, he started third, he went straight muscle move there Saturday night to take the lead lap one, and I mean, Moran didn't really love it, and they had their contact last week, Brownstown, and I was like, he's here to do something, and he's got nothing to lose really with as far back as he was, and Moran had a little bit, but not as much either. But I mean, so back to Friday, Thornton kind of pissed his opportunity away, right? Unfortunately. Friday night to put his lead out. That I was trying to find the points. I'll just be straight with you. I was trying to find the points for Lucas today to find out how much you can make in a race difference because Davenport's 100 points back. It's higher than it is in Ward Outlaws. Ward Outlaws you can only make like 50, 45, something like that. But coming in this weekend, I believe Moran was behind like 60, something like that. So, and he won Friday. Thornton finished ninth. So it really, at the end of the day, Davenport is still in it, but he is going to have some help probably. He can't have RTJ and Moran run fifth and him win, even. It's not enough. So he's going to need some help. I'm pretty sure that how they run that show, it's 2 separate features, Friday and Saturday. So if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on that, but it better be. Otherwise, Davenport's screwed. So we'll see what happens when we get down there. But, I mean, do y'all think he's got a chance? I mean, I was very surprised Friday night when he had the attitude of, like, hey, we're still in this. Were y'all surprised to see him have a little bit of positivity? He's not known for that,
He's not known for being positive, but if he can just have the right mindset, and he didn't look the best on Friday, but it's all the mindset, and I think he can do it if he just things got to go his way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think it's going to be big time in 2 weeks. And I like them having a little break right here so that, they've raced like 3, and then we're going to take 2 off, and then we're going to – or 1 week off, and then you can either race this weekend if you want, or you can just wait till Eldora. And, I'm imagining Moran, RTJ, Davenport are probably taking it off, right? Like I would assume they're going to get ready. But, I mean, it's Cherokee, so maybe JD's going to go down there and do something. I don't know. I know that Hudson said he's going, right? I think I saw that on Facebook Sunday. For what is it? Is it Blue Gray 100? I guess is what it is. So, which is the Hunt Front Championship, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So we'll see what happens. Definitely looking forward to it. We'll do our picks next week. Y'all be thinking up. It's the half-mile tracks have put on really good racing in the dirt late models this year. I know they get a lot of hate. We have a track that we go to, I-75 used to be like 5/8 or something like that. They shut it and made it 3/8, and it still has good racing. But sometimes I wish we had a big track to go see local because you go to Eldora, wherever it's wild to see. They also cut down our beloved Smoky Mountain Speedway.
That was the only good one.
Run by Roger Sellers, cut it on down too. So we don't have any big tracks around here anymore. Unless they put dirt on Bristol, which apparently they're going to do about once every 30 years or so. So, we'll see what happens there. But I don't know. I as much as I give Moran a hard time about being a Buckeye, I don't know if I prefer him over RTJ or not. Really, I don't. I really just want JD to win. I mean, I'm wearing the hat, I'm wearing the shirt. So we'll see what happens. But maybe we'll just have to slide up there again that Saturday. I mean, we can probably one day it from my house and drive back. It'll be fine. I did it last time for the World, so we can probably get back about 3 a.m. It'll be all right. But we'll see what happens there. So, all right, Word Outlaws. JP, do you have any comments on Lucas you need to make about JD?
No,
Moran?
I didn't really watch any of the dirt, to be honest with you.
You're
I was watching your favorite. I watched almost every lap of your favorite racing series this weekend.
At the very end of the podcast, we'll go ahead and have JP do a Formula One moment because nobody gives a rat's ass about that. So, anyways, Word Outlaws. Real quick, I did not get to watch much of this. I did do the dual screen, but I was also watching football. Friday, Saturday, it was a great time. I watched a lot of football and racing. So, my Dirt Vision went out for a minute, too. I don't know what. It looks like they, changed media player providers or something. But Friday night, they go into Humboldt Speedway. They went 39 cars strong. Chase Younghans qualifies on the pole. Leads. Goes out there, absolutely busts his ass solo leading the Lord Outlaws race. Basically at home in front of the whole field. Goes to the back. Dennis Erb Jr. takes the lead. Dennis Erb Jr. leads the rest of the race. Bobby Pierce finishes fourth. Congratulations, Bobby Pierce. He has fallen off the face of the earth a little bit here as the years come down.
Which brings you got a penalty or something today.
Yeah, that was on Saturday. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Curiously enough about that is like, what would their points look like with a chase right now? Right now, Hoffman's was like 300 points behind, and he's down to 100 points behind. Like, if they had this chase right now, Bobby beat Hoffman on Friday. Saturday, Hoffman beat him by a good bit. So, anyways, getting into Saturday, like JP, Bobby was cheating Saturday, per usual. We know they're always cheating. It's just they actually got caught this time. Basically, he took the pole, and they got caught on the grid adjusting tire pressures. Lost the pole, start from the back. So, definitely something you can't be doing. Something that NASCAR has also busted people for. I don't know if y'all listened to the teardown last week, but those penalties that they handed out for the nose of the car getting adjusted after tech, same kind of thing. So, kind of interesting to see them making those last minute adjustments, getting kicked to the back.
Hey,
so.
there was a DQ of a whole team in F1 qualifying for their DRS thing being too wide.
Perfect. That's awesome. Was it Red Bull? No, so it's
No.
irrelevant. All right. Red Bull needs a points playoff is what they need. I mean, shoot. Max would win again. But yeah, I don't know. So Bobby ends up having to go to the back, comes back up to like 9th. T-Mac takes the win. Basically how this thing starts, Shirley takes the lead early, and T-Mac gets around and he muscled him up a little bit, getting past him, and just kind of ran away. Through lap traffic, Shirley closed a little bit, but, T-Mac got it done in the car for his dad. Congratulations to him. Hoffman, like I said, he is 108 points out. If you finish 24th in a World Outlaw start, it's like 104 points. If you win, it's 150. So, I don't know, man. I don't guess he can do it. They only have 5 races left. They have 2 races this weekend at Boot Hill, and then they have the World Finals. And I don't even know if the World Finals it might just be one feature. So we'll see what happens there. But it is really interesting to look. Their points would be very good right now, I think, if they would have done a reset, say 3 races ago, because Bobby and Nick have been going back and forth pretty hard, and T-Mac, who's sitting in 4th and would also be in that, has actually run really good as of late himself. So Gustin kind of. He started the year off strong, just kind of falling off. But be interesting just kind of look at, we talked about, there's this big debate in NASCAR about points playoff versus no points playoff. And I told you, if you want to see a difference, watch this World Outlaws and watch this Lucas thing and just kind of see what seems better. So there has been no story in World Outlaws. There never will be a story in World Outlaws about points. And there is in Lucas. And it's going to be nail-biting coming down to Eldora. I mean, it probably is going to possibly come down to the last lap, right? Like, you got to imagine Moran, RTJ are both going to be top 5 both nights up there, and unless they have issues, and in which case if they do have issues, maybe they wreck each other, and Davenport comes by. I don't know. It could be really dramatic. So I like it. Some people don't. D-Watt, your little keep the playoffs hot minute last week got a lot of hate, a lot of love on the internet. I like that on TikTok. It did good. It got some views and some clicks and some comments. Had people absolutely dumping on each other in the comments. So keep it up. Good work on that. But, we'll see what happens. So other than that, kind of wrap up the dirt. Corey Hedgecock gets wins the Southern Thunder Series at Sonoa, however you want to say it. JP's been there. I hadn't.
It's a great track. You really need to go.
I want to go for like 7,500. Glad they're still in operation. I know that there was some stuff on the internet after their issues earlier in the year. They're facing some tough times. We'll see what happens there. Other than that, Topless Outlaws go to North Georgia Speedway. David Payne gets the win over John Allenby, Kyle Courtney, Booger Brooks, and Zach Sykes. Booger Brooks started this race on the pole, fellers. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but he did start on the pole, and he did choke.
How do you lose at the home track like that? Come on now.
I mean, it's not his home track. His home track is no longer in operation at Boyd Speedway.
Unfortunately.
I talked to a guy at work like a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I used to love Boyd's Speedway. I can't believe they closed that place down. I'm talking about drive from Knoxville to go to Boyd's because he said it was his favorite track. Real throwback name in this race. I don't know if y'all saw. Obviously, Brandon Kinder's been back on that tour this week pretty regular, but I did notice your 13th place finisher there in the Topless Outlaws was Kenny Kazar, baby.
Oh, baby.
22K. Hadn't seen that one out there in a while. So good to see some. I mean,
Damn.
It's been a lot of nostalgia for us here, like, Riley Hickman and Kenny Kazar. If we could just get like Rick Hickson.
Went to damn Eldora.
Yeah, Todd Morrow's been racing a lot. But if we could get Rick Hickson out there, and was it Jerry Kaufman?
Yeah.
get Welshing back in a car. This series right here is like it's set up to be a great series for us locally. So good to see that. Jed Emmert, nobody cares about him. No, I'm just kidding. He's on another podcast that hates us, in case you didn't know. We can talk about that later. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But going into this weekend, we have World Outlaws is at Boot Hill with the Comp Cam Dirt Series for another combined weekend. I think that's their second one that they've done together this year. So we'll see what happens there at Boot Hill. That is in Louisiana. Expect to see Cade Dillard out there, probably looking pretty quick. I don't know, 10K Friday, 50K Saturday. See how many cars show up. Hunt the Front is at Cherokee. It is their points finale, 8K and 20K, I believe, for the Blue Gray 100, which is, big time race down there. I wanted to review this points real quick front to front. My computer's locked up. Jimmy Owens has a 2-point lead over Zach Mitchell and a 32-point lead over Corey Hedgecock. Joyner is 54 back. This is one of these right here. Depending on who shows up could be the difference in how this goes for them, right? As far as just adding some gaps. I mean, Zach Mitchell, I expect him to be quick down there. Owens, he didn't go run this series to finish second, so I'd imagine he's taking everything he's got. Maybe he's borrowing one of Ricky's cars this weekend. I don't know. And, do they do something like pull, they could pull Ricky over there this weekend. Ricky could go with them, help run the car. I mean, that is a team. You got to remember, this is a team sport. The team is starting to become more and more of a thing, it seems like, with crew guys and stuff. So maybe Jimmy gets a little help from some other guys to go get down there and get that win from Kohler. So we'll see what happens there. But real quick, this is not on the record, but who you guys want to pick for the championship? We thinking Zach Mitchell? We're leaning Zach Mitchell.
Who I want to win the championship? I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I want Corey to win. D-Watt probably wants Owens to win.
I'm going for. Yeah, my heart just telling me to say Owens, but Zach Mitchell's gonna be tough.
He's gonna be tough. I think so. Jimmy, I am officially gonna pick Owens though. Like, just for the record, I think Zach Mitchell is probably kind of the favorite, even though he's behind, just because Cherokee and all that. But Jimmy has won a lot of point championships in his days. He's won what Lucas, like 4 times, 3 times, 2 times. I think 4. So
4.
He's been out there doing it. He knows what to do. I don't think. He's not going to get nervous. Zach Mitchell and that crew, they could definitely get a little nervous. This is one of those times when you do something dumb, like leave a nut loose or leave your plate in front of your radiator when you go out for qualifying or whatever. Like, there's some things here that you just got to make sure you tighten up and execute. And, I think Jimmy will go in there with a big old wad of chewing gum, and hopefully he comes out with a win. So we'll see what Jimmy can do in the 20 car, and I'll be pulling for him even over Corey, I guess. So, I mean, I'll be all right if Corey wins, but as long as we don't let South Carolina take it, bring that trophy home to Tennessee, boys, where it belongs. All right, and hopefully we'll see the Hunt Front series continue. So, other than that, big race at Dixie Speedway. Me and D-Watt, first time we ever saw Lucas Oil was at Dixie Speedway. It was about this time of year, really. I believe they used to do the Dixie Rome Double sometime either end of September or October, right? So, it seemed like football was going on whenever we would go down there. So, they're having a big race, Southern All-Stars, Southern Nationals, Spring Nationals, all that. Ray Cook, everything is going to be there. So I hope they have a good race down there for Dixie, good turnout. They've had, open and close 15 times in the last 15 years, it seems like, unfortunately. It's really good. At racy track when it's prepped right. Had some good times down there. Love that red clay. So wish them the best and, tune in on Flow. I guess that'll be on Flow, maybe. If it's Southern Nationals, I think it's on Flow. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. Southern All-Stars usually does their own streaming, so we'll see what happens there. But if it's on Flow, watch it. If not, that's about it. NASCAR. We are 29 minutes in, boys. We're on schedule. We had the triple header at y'all's favorite racetrack, the Roval, this weekend. JP and D-Watt really wanted to cover these races because they just thought they were so exciting. So I just told them they couldn't. But basically, trucks. Corey Haim sits on the pole, and Brent Cruz for the truck race takes the lead early and never really looks back.
To Grant Enfinger.
Yeah, Grant Enfinger didn't know how to drive. Absolutely just overdrove turn 1. Credit to Grant Enfinger for owning it, though. I do. After the race, he did own it. He's been around long enough to at least own it and say, no, that was on the driver. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. He took out the 11 or whatever. But anyways, Brent Cruz ends up getting the lead and ends up leading 56 laps out of this thing. Good run for him. Caden Honeycutt wins stage 1 and 2, basically flipping the stage, trying to get the playoff points. Just kind of one of those things. But Brent Cruz trying to win the race. He looked pretty good. I thought he was going to have it. They ended up having a caution. And then on the restart, he just got schooled, man. Corey Heim time, baby. He is not going to be denied. That is 10 wins 1 year in the truck races. That's freaking impressive, honestly, at the end of the day. Because they only run 26 races a year, right? And they've got like 3 or 4 left. So, you're talking about almost 50% win percentage this year. And he choked some to start the year. So,
yeah.
This is another one of those kind of maybe sort of kind of came back to him after choking some of those early in the year where he ended up getting the win. Even though it looked like Brent Cruz is going to win this race. So
here's something that I mentioned to Pops about
when
I got home with that truck race. The truck races this year have pretty much been like an IMSA race. It's multi-class. You have the Tricon trucks, and then you have the Craftsman Truck Series because they're on a different level.
Yeah, I mean, they have been good for sure. I guess it's that Toyota money, I reckon, is what it comes down to. They talk about the trucks being such a big development program as far as Cup Series goes. A lot of guys say that you learn more Cup racing in trucks now than you do Xfinity because of how the cars drive and trucks drive. So, kind of interesting to see it, but, it's also like, what is the future of the Truck Series, I'd like to see him run less road courses. Straight up, they run too many road courses. I want to see him run short tracks and Charlotte basically. All those. They can run those mile and a halves a few times a year. Yeah, Texas. Unfortunately, the SMI tracks, but like Texas, Vegas, Charlotte, Kansas, maybe. But other than that, I really like to see them on short tracks and selling out events. So that's something else we might talk about if we get time here at the end of the podcast, but I doubt it. But anyways, good win. Corey Heim absolutely dominating, absolutely kicking everybody's ace in the points. That's for you, Papa. Pretty much Corey Heim is, he's looking pretty good. I mean, I don't know. He's not going to miss, right?
No.
I mean,
no.
He's already, he locked himself in with the win, so he's not really part of the cut line. He would have been like, 80 points ahead or something. Yeah. So anyways, get the win in the truck race. It was cool to have it on Friday at 3:30. This was an awesome weekend by Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want to point that out. On-track action, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, lots of it. They also had the Mach-E series or something in there for some kind of Ford series, IMSA series in there, whatever it was. So I have appreciation for them understanding what race fans want at the track, and I'm sure the camping was full because of that. So now if we could just get that for an oval race, we'd be getting somewhere. But congratulations, Corey Heim, the 11 team. All right, moving on. Xfinity, no shock, 88 on the pole.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought? By the way, I picked Corey Heim to win the truck race. So that was one win, and then 88 was the second win in the Xfinity race, for the record. But he ends up getting on the pole, win stage 1. Stage 2, the strategy got a little wonky there as far as flipping or not flipping because of the time of a caution, if I remember right. Yep. And, basically they set up that last stage. It was kind of a little bit of a snoozer. I'll give y'all what it was. It was a little bit of a snoozer, but you set up this last stage, and it was going to be good. And then, unfortunately, Austin Hill had engine issues, and you had Austin Hill needing to make up ground to get in the playoffs, and Jesse Love, and it was going to be a big mix-up. Fresh tires versus a little 2 or 3 older lap tires, and Austin Hill just didn't have any power. Unfortunately, felt bad for the guy.
I can't believe you're saying unfortunately.
I listen. I hate to sound like Jordan Bianchi or something, but I'm about the chaos. So I would rather him be in Phoenix because can you imagine what he would do if he had a chance? I mean, he would have wrecked anybody right here.
His grandma.
God. He would not. Golly, we're gonna get kicked off the internet. Quit talking like that. He would probably wreck him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I hated that went the way that it did, but it is what it is. Their reset is really tight. You have Connor Stillers, Justin Allgaier. They're both pretty well in. Allgaier has a 24-point lead. As long as he doesn't have a big incident at Talladega, I would assume he's good to go. Jesse Love, Sammy Smith, Carson Quapple, Sheldon Creed. Sheldon Creed, he could win at Talladega or whatever. That's a decent type track for him. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see what happens with the Xfinity Series as we finish it up. I'm not. We're not gonna pick a final four. Are you guys still, Zilich all the ways here? I mean,
I think he'll make it to
Yeah.
the end, but I think Allgaier's going to beat him at Phoenix.
one thing I did want to point out: there is no Toyotas, no JGR Toyotas in the top 8 points. That's what has happened to the
That's awesome.
JGR Xfinity
That's
program.
awesome.
When Ty was there and when they had those all-star cars, they were obviously pretty quick. Now, I don't know, the owner's car, that 19 car with Amarola is probably up there in the owner's deal, but just kind of interesting. I lied. Brandon Jones is in a Joe Gibbs car. For some reason, NASCAR.com, I was just looking right here, has a Chevy next to Brandon Jones in the Joe Gibbs racing car. So there is a Toyota in there. I apologize. There's 1 out of 7. So we'll see what happens with Brandon Jones. He'd probably love to beat Junior Motorsports. We'll see what happens there. All right, moving on. Cup race. D-Watt, I'm going to let you handle it. I'll just say this. 88 wasn't on the pole, right?
No, he was not.
No,
No,
sir.
he was not on the pole. He was on the outside pole. Tyler Reddick on the pole. He was needing a big day, and I just didn't agree with their plan of attack with pitting and whatnot early on. If I was them, I would have followed the 88 with what his pit plans were. They're trying to save tires, and it's just a kind of race that's unique, and I don't know. I would have done better with their pit planning. But stage 1 went to SVG. Man, this is when Ross Chastain. I like Ross. I've got a shirt. I got a hat. I text y'all. I was like, man, he just missed his turn. And in the interview after the race, he talked about how or why he missed his turn. And I guess it all kind of makes sense. But it is what it is on that. So, and then the 77 takes down the 2 after the restart. So Garrison gets in there and just slams on his brakes and has him locked up for a while, and he just misses a Stenhouse. So he just barely misses Stenhouse. I wish if he would have hit him, that would have been pretty unique.
Get
So he took
Stenhouse
out the
again
2,
on a road course.
which then the Tuesday was ruined with his toe link being broke. So
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
so that was tough day on some of these guys that were on the cut. SPG says tires are crap. So tire wear, that's one thing I didn't expect, just as like a fan watching on TV. I didn't expect to have these tire issues that they were having. I feel like they didn't hype it up over the last few weeks or over the weekend. So these guys were really conserving tires, which we'll get into that here in just a minute. So then we're going into stage 3. So that went to Blaney won stage 2. So that was good to see him win, which he's already locked in. So he's just at this point just trying to gather stage points. We didn't see much out of Chase or Blaney. Once those guys get the mindset of being locked in, then they're just kind of out for a cruise, I think. Minus getting some stage points when they can, but the mindset's just different. Okay, so stage 3. Okay, here we go. So if you're going to wreck somebody or attempt to slam into somebody, you don't flatten your own tire. So Riley Herbst tries to get his payback, which, yes, he got run to the wall. I watched the highlights a few times before I was going to give my take on this, but Ty Dillon definitely rammed him into the wall. So Herbst he's pissed off. Oh, I want to run down the back straightaway, and I'm gonna door him. And then even the guys calling the race were kind of laughing at him, like, got my payback, and then I'll flat my own tire. So he had to go
Burton
down
really
pit
liked
road.
that.
So that was just one of those deals, but he'll learn over the years. Austin Dillon got into it with the 38 car or something like that. Them two were, they were slamming each other. Those past a few corners, and then
Blue collar racing.
Austin Dillon got the bat into that stick. Get pretty good hit in the tires there. At first he hit the tires, and they didn't throw the caution for a couple of minutes, I felt like. And then once they saw that the tires were ajar, then they threw the caution. So that's just one of those deals there. Here we go. So great race between the 88, the 5, and the 20. These were the top 3 cars of the day, I thought. The 20 didn't have the tires there at one point in time, and the 5 and the 88. So the 88 was getting pretty aggressive. He had the better car by a long shot there at the end, definitely. But he didn't have his patience, and the 88 was bound. He was going to pass his 5 car quickly. He was not going to waste his time. So he just dove it into that one of those corners. And 5 said, no, you're not doing that to me. So he made it really difficult to pass him there coming to the start-finish line. He was really all over him coming to those final corners of that lap. They were really racing hard. And I don't blame him. And that's what the 5 said in the interview after the race. He said, I didn't appreciate that move, and if that's how he's going to race, and I'm going to race him the same way, but I don't want to overdo it where he's going to owe me another one. So I felt like he drew the line. He did pretty good of not taking it, and even like the broadcast was talking how he just didn't appreciate that dive bomb. So that was it is what it is on that. So
yeah, real quick, I think SVG really earned a lot of respect with the whole field in that situation. I think when they go back and watch the film, I think he did really good. He hit Larson really hard in turn 7 there, come back on the track, and Larson was like, nope, not doing that. And he backed off. He got passed by Bell eventually even, and he drove back past Bell and then drove past Larson. Larson let him go clean, and I think it was just like, hey, learn, you're better, so do it the right way. Like, if you're better, don't wreck somebody. And I think that was a big moment for him going forward in his career. I think he probably earned a lot of respect all the ways around. Even for me as a fan, he did, really, to just drop back and then come back and do it again and be clean about it. So, big-time deal.
So this is where the playoff system they have now really helps keep these races exciting. If basically, in my opinion, if they don't have this playoff system, then I don't know what we're going to talk about. So for whatever place this was, 15th or so, the TV is just zoned in on this Ross Chastain, Joey Logano situation. I was definitely surprised that the 22 pitted when he did. It's tough to, when you're locked in like he was at that certain point, to give up all those positions. And I was upstairs watching this race with my wife, and I was like, man, that's a lot of spots to make up. So he did it, and it was a gutsy call, but you just, and there's quite a bit of stuff to unfold here with guys going 100%, or they not going 100%. And there's all these new rules they've had to put in over the last couple of years because of Martinsville. People having flat tires or wanting to pit all of a sudden. Or there's always something goes on there in these last 5 laps, these kind of playoff races. So the 34 is going to pass the 22, the 122. So that makes Logano pissed. Then you get these manufacturing orders. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, all these guys are making sure that their drivers are locked in this next round of playoffs. So the one, he decides to stay out, and his tires are junk. He's slow, and so here we go. So the 11 is coming up on him, and I wasn't aware that he wasn't aware of the point situation and whatnot. But he really maybe didn't know, which I think is maybe a good thing. Keep these, because then it just turns into a big bunch of drama over who knew what and fake tire issues and whatnot. So anyway, I'll get to it. So the 11 passes the 1 cleanly and carries on his way, and the 1 at that point it's a tie, and he lost the tiebreaker. So he's just going to drive it in that corner as all he can, and takes out the 11, which he was just too far back. And even when I was watching, he's too far back at this point to make any kind of move. I guess the hope he had was maybe he'll hit him so hard and hit him square enough or something like that where he can just go on by him. But
this was the Hail Denny.
The Hail Denny.
Denny.
And Denny wasn't that mad about it, which I mean he's locked in pretty much. So it's no big deal for him. He's locked in. So I feel like there's no hurt feelings there. But I felt like even if it was a successful pass with the slam, I feel like it shouldn't have counted, because it all goes back to Richmond last year, and it all goes back to things that's happened in the past of how they make these rules. So I feel like no, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have even counted. And there's a guy I work with. He doesn't watch a lot of NASCAR, but he thought it was very unique how the one car finished backwards, smoking his tires. I mean, at that point, you're just going to sling it in the gear, baby. And you're going to go. So it was a unique finish. I mean, I was pretty excited upstairs watching it. So it's just, is that what we want to see? And I mean, give us something to talk about, so I'm fine with it. Just, but back to the lead, back to the winner. You know, he smoked him. I'm not sure what the lead he had off the end was. It 15, 20 save? It was something great.
17 or 18.
17 seconds. Okay, I thought it was pretty high. So
I did see something on Twitter today that this guy posts this every week, and essentially he has this calculation of where the cars would finish based on if they reached their optimal lap delta or whatever for every lap of the race.
Yeah.
And if they would have done that and it was 15 lap runs, SVG literally would have won the race by a complete mile.
Yeah, that surprised me. He had them dialed.
Also, it was a big lead that I wasn't aware that they had to go another lap because they were so far behind. So then I thought it was I thought, okay, that's it. But really, they had to go. So the extra laps is really what cost Ross his chance. If it was one less lap, then it would have been transferred. So
if they were a lap down, you're right. I was having that same thought. Like, man, they almost wish they were 5 seconds back because they'd be a lap down right now, and this race would be over. And that's something interesting, you know. Like, we don't let lap down cars race back to the line, right? Like, the race is over once the leader crosses, and it's just like. On a road course like that, I was thinking to myself, I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my secret point then. Like, dude, that's going to matter potentially at the Roval in the future, you know? So just kind of curious to see that. And then, like, you look at that, and, I mean, you know, the whole team orders thing, it gets sketchy, man. I'm telling you, it gets sketchy. So
I guess for Ross, the biggest thing for his takeaway was just he sped on pit road and he missed his, the turn on pit road. So and he said it in the interview, he just got to clean those things up, and I think, I don't know if he was just not, I mean, he's been in the playoffs before, not last year, but was this just a big spotlight for him and he just choked it? Or, I was curious on what y'all thought, if it, was it a choke or was it just a driver error?
I think he just let the mistakes he made get to him. I mean,
yeah, so I think choke is something that happens when you're under the spotlight. I think he was under the spotlight. I think he knew he was good, and he sped on pit road, and he knew it. He hit the wrong gear.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't happen with an H pattern shifter. Can I get an amen? But it's one of those things, man. Like, I felt bad for him, but he screwed it up, and he did his best to drive back. And, like, it's kind of, I think I talked to Pops earlier in the year about our Tennessee football loss to Georgia, and I said that it was a team loss. It's kind of a team loss because they also didn't pit him. If they'd have covered, they'd had a chance, and he made his mistakes, they made their mistakes, and the 22 made their mistakes on pit road and battled through it, right? They also made a mistake, with they had the right front, I believe, caught on their second to last stop and slowed them down a little bit. So I don't know. I mean, I guess what I want to know is, so we're going to talk about Dennis here because this is really kind of a Dennis. Dennis is actually the newsmaker in this to me. Ross was going to wreck Denny, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, and Denny knew that. So, like, my question is, a lot of people are getting in this race manipulation stuff. First, I want to talk about the 34 car, okay? Because the 34 car, Todd Gillen is getting some unnecessary crap talk today, in my opinion, by some people. Joey was real pissed about Todd Gillen driving past him. Todd Gillen had fresher tires, drove past him, and ended up passing Ross as well. But for a minute, he was between the two of them. Given this lawsuit situation and the fact that Todd Gillen is Todd Gillen, like, he's kind of driving for a job out there, and he's got to give it everything he's got. And, also, like, for Joey, if they deem that he's not giving it 100%, we have that blocking situation like we had with the Chevys. Like, does that really work out for Joey? So I don't know why he's mad that somebody's driving. Joey needs to calm down a little bit, just for the record. This Hamlin situation, Denny Hamlin needed to do what was best for him. And run 100% here, I don't know is what was best for him. And that's why, we get this 100% rule. And I'm not even necessarily talking about the Joey Logano thing, but I just want to back up to, like, when he passed Ross earlier in the lap, what if Ross just came back there and absolutely put him in the fence next turn? And then Hamlin finishes 40th or whatever. Like, he might not make it at that point. And, the fact that he didn't know what the situation was I would be upset if I was him too. I mean, what if Ross puts him in the wall in the backstretch chicane and he's done, and everybody drives past him and he misses the cut? For his own good, he shouldn't have been racing Ross. Like, just stay away, because you know what Ross is going to do. We all knew. Like, I knew. I mean, I'm assuming y'all knew. I knew what was going to happen. I mean, if Joey would have got to Ross any sooner, Ross probably would have just turned Joey and put him in the wall and left him on the backstretch in the fence somewhere and just make, if you make NASCAR call it, you make them call it. And I think that's Ross's attitude on turning Denny. So this whole thing about, picking who's in the playoffs is very interesting, though. I mean, it's definitely next level thinking, but that is how you win, right? Yeah. Same thing. So, do you think Denny would rather have Ross, or would he rather have Joey?
He would much rather have Ross Chastain.
Yeah, I agree.
Because here's what's going to happen, fellas. Joey's going to come out and pull Las Vegas out of his asshole and win this thing.
I know.
And then him and old Paul boy are going to be sitting there for 3 weeks, tuning up, and they will absolutely smoke everybody at Phoenix.
Yeah. God, you're probably right. So I just want to argue the opposite, though, and say that Denny would rather have Ross there. Have Joey there, because Ross would wreck him at Phoenix if he had the chance, and Joey's not going to do that.
And Joey won't wreck you?
Joey won't wreck Denny at Phoenix to win a championship. I don't think so.
Okay, you're an idiot.
I really don't. Well, Ross would just wreck him in the next round just to pass him and to get in the final round. But Denny ain't got to worry about it, because Denny's not going to the championship round anyways. Don't worry, I got that coming in the picks later. Dear Dennis, retire now while you can, run while you can, because this is it. NASCAR's banning you after this lawsuit. You're fired from Joe Gibbs, too. Don't get it twisted. I don't know. All right, real quick. We talked about that enough. All right, is SVG the road course GOAT? Yes or no?
Yes,
he's on a 5-win streak. Jeff Gordon went on a 6-win streak over 3 years.
Yes, he's the GOAT.
Who's the GOAT?
SVG.
SVG.
No, Jeff Gordon's still the GOAT.
Okay, after the first road course next year when he ties
listen
the
the
record.
hell up. Listen the hell up. Multiple years and stock cars, not IMSA cars. Sorry. Much harder to do. It is what it is. Next year, he's not going to win the first race because Connor Zilisch is going to win the first road course race.
No, Connor
If they don't wreck each other, I'll be amazed, honestly. So, I'm telling y'all, next year, you want to watch teammates and watch teammates race? Watch them Trackhouse boys next year at the road course. They're going to be all over each other, okay? It's going to be exciting. If he gets the 6, I will give it to him over Gordon. Up until then, I'm actually leaving it with Jeffrey, though, just for the record.
Here's the thing. What was Jeffrey's competition back in the day on the road courses? Nobody.
Robbie Gordon, Tony
Robbie
Stewart,
washed.
Mark Martin,
Tony
Rusty
washed.
Wallace.
Washed. They all
Robbie
suck.
Gordon was a great road course racer. Great.
They all suck.
Juan Pablo Montoya,
He sucks.
great
in
road
NASCAR.
course racer. Marcus Ambrose,
He's even worse.
that was later after that, but Robbie Gordon, Tony Stewart, probably the top 2 with Jeffrey at the time, but it is what it is. Freaking SVG's out here driving a go-kart. Jeff was driving a real man's car.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's put Ross today, not Ross. I keep saying Ross. Let's put SVG and Jeff Gordon back in a 1999
Jeff Gordon will
Chevy
spin out turn 1 because he can't
Cup
drive.
cars,
He's
and
an old
let's
man.
see who wins 1-on-1. Jeff's got enough money. Put him out there, Jeffrey. I believe in you, son. I believe in you. I know you're old and you're never getting a race car again, but you could beat SVG if you wanted to. Said it here. We'll revisit this next year when this podcast is over. All right. Anyways, other than that, y'all want to keep the Roval, yes or no?
Yes.
In the playoffs, yes or no?
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, man. So I saw
Come on,
3
D1.
races this weekend, and I really had a really good mindset. I was really, I was hoping to see some good racing this weekend, and I say after this, I say next year get back to the oval. They got a really good oval there in Charlotte. Why don't we run the oval? Why are we running in the infield when we can run on the oval?
I actually have a better idea. Instead of running the Roval or the Charlotte Oval, we move the cars about a half mile across the street and run them on the dirt track. Let's do that.
Oh, God. JP just set the internet on fire. Everybody's mad. Yeah, let's run a dirt race in the playoffs. Dirt race, the NASCAR playoffs at Charlotte. It's official.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I had a possible hot minute topic. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it now. I do have a concept for NASCAR, okay? This is wild. So, we all know where all dirt roads lead, correct? They all lead to Charlotte Motor Speedway, dirt track, right? So, I just want to throw this idea out here for NASCAR and racing in general. NASCAR World Racing Group and NHRA. Okay, you all need to listen here. All right? This is the dream camping week for all race fans across the entire globe. Okay? We go weekend number 1, NHRA Championships. Okay? And then throughout the week, we run the Dirt Championships. And then we finish Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Championships at Charlotte. You run your World Outlaws Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You would run those 2 features after the Xfinity race. You run a noon Xfinity race, get it done, pack everybody in the dirt track. Anybody that can't make it in there, show it on Big Hoss. Be the sickest week ever in racing. Start with NHRA Championships, get World Outlaws, Super Dirt Modified Series, UMPs, get all of them. Get everything in there you can get. Race them all in 1 week for the championships to shut it down. Lead it into a NASCAR Cup Series championship race at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 500 miles. Have the banquet Monday night. Sold.
That is the best idea I've ever heard you say.
I will be on vacation that week every year from now until eternity. I'll be down there. I mean, I had this idea today, and I was like, boys, would that not be sick to just start? And then, I mean, we could really get into it, and you could really, I said the NHRA thing, but if you want to throw in, Cars Tour or something, just find whatever asphalt track is closest to Charlotte Motor Speedway, run them there. God, that'd be a week, wouldn't it?
What if we just put the Cars Tour on the big track?
I don't think they'd be safe. I mean, those motors ain't got enough power. They ain't got enough gear. No, I don't think that's a good idea. You didn't watch them race in Granite Falls, North Carolina at Tri-County this weekend. I did. Them boys don't know how to drive. I'm just gonna tell you, do not know how to drive without wrecking. None of them. I mean, it's bad. We didn't even talk about that, which this side topic, but Landon Huffman gets into Chad McCumbee, who's leading the race. Absolutely just busts his ass under him and takes them both out, ends up on top of him. Mm-hmm. And it's like, they interview McCumbee, and they're like, all right, you're going to make it to Wilkesboro? And he was like, I mean, why would I even spend any money to come back to this shit show, basically? Why would I do the racing is so bad. You had Luke Baldwin got absolutely taken out in the Pro Late Model race. I mean, he moved the guy, and then he got absolutely wiped out. It was dirty. Be curious to see the door bumper clear. Y'all be sure to go listen, because that's a real podcast. It's a fake podcast. Be sure to listen and see what Old Thomas has to say about that. But, I mean, I think it'd be really cool to have all those championships 1 week at Charlotte. And this is the opportunity, right? We're going to put the championship race in rotation. Charlotte Motor Speedway needs a championship. North Carolina, the state, deserved it. They went and they just passed all this law that's good for short track racing, local tracks, and now every other state in America is working on getting these bills passed to protect racetracks from sound ordinances. We've seen it at Boyd's. I-75 has a curfew now. We've seen this. 411 had a curfew that got shot down. Give the state of North Carolina, they're building all this stuff, they're spending this money, give them that championship in Charlotte. Own your home turf. That is your home turf. Own it. Heard it here first. NASCAR Championship week, Charlotte, with the World Outlaws, with NHRA Championship, 4 wide. Dude, that'd be so badass. And I don't even like NH. I mean, straight up, I'm not a drag racing fan, but motorsport full week. If you really want to go wild, bring IMSA in there. Run it Thursday, Friday morning on the Roval. If you can figure out how to run the road course and the oval same weekend. We're not running the championship race on the Roval, obviously, so that'd be out. But it'd be a really cool week racing. So that's enough of my nonsense. Picks. I smoked y'all's rear end pretty much. JP did get the 88 in the Xfinity race. Who did I pick in the Xfinity race?
You picked the 88 in the Xfinity race.
I'm sorry. JP picked 88 in the Cup race. I picked Bubba Wallace, who showed up slow as ever. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a real airball. I really thought he was going to rise up after being frustrated with Denny, but apparently not. So we'll see what happens with that. So I get 2, JP gets 1, D-Watt gets a lot of red over here. So good news is it is 12-12-11, boys. And we are in the final countdown. If we keep this thing tied up to the dome, like, we're going to have, like, a full segment for, like, the feature at the dome. We're going to, like, make podcast picks live at the dome if this thing's tied up going into that on Saturday night. And that's just going to be it. That's going to be the final shebang. So, we'll see. But anyways, D-Watt does get to go first this week. That's the good news for him. We are going to pick Xfinity and Cup, and then the Flex, which can be, dirt race your choice, I guess. There's not a whole lot else going on other than that. No truck race, so no Formula One because we do real sports. But we'll do Cup, Xfinity, and then the Flex, I think, is how we're going to do it this time. So,
right.
D-Watt, what's your Cup pick, big dog?
Oh, give me. He's going to lock into the Final Four. Give me Ryan Blaney to win at Vegas.
All right, JP.
Give me the 22.
Shoo, man. All right, I'm going to go with the 9 of Chase Elliott to get the win. His worst mile-and-a-half track, statistically, they're going to rise from the ashes. They've had 2 weeks to work on that car, ready to get it done. Right. Xfinity. D-Watt?
Justin Allgaier.
All right, JP.
Well, he took my pick. Give me, just because Pops mentioned it the other day, give me Sam Mayer. He was upset that nobody picked him last week because we pick him every week.
We do pick him every week. I'm going to take the 19 of Eric Amarola to pull the upset at the mile and a half. It'll probably be the 88. I can't believe we're just going to leave the 88 sitting out here on the table for Xfinity. It's pretty dumb. I'm going to stick with Amarola, though. I really am. I think he'll get it done out there, unfortunately, as much as I hate his guts. So, all right, we got a Flex. Dirt, you pick them. D-Watt, this can be, you got Southern All-Stars if you know who's going. You got Hunt the Front. You got or the Outlaws, Boot Hill.
Okay, I'll go Hunt the Front Saturday night. Zach Mitchell.
57 is Zach Mitchell. All right, D-Watt going big time. JP, what's your Flex? Got your dirt pick. You got anything sneaky you're going to pull out on us?
So I don't know if he's going to race or not.
Well, that is part of this game on these Flex picks, unfortunately.
I'm going to take my biggest iRacing sponsor, Father Christopher, at the home track.
Oh, yeah, that's what I do.
Give it to me.
I was thinking about it. Cherokee, Chris Ferguson, Cherokee Speedway, blue, gray, 1 hundo. Good pick. That was actually on my list of possible picks. I'm going to take the layup. Give me Nicholas Hoffman for the win at Boot Hill. I probably should have gone with Cade Dillard, but I'm going to go with Nick Hoffman down there to get the win at World Outlaws. We'll see what happens. 1 hot minute. D-Watt, you ready?
Oh, yeah, I got 1.5 for you. It's interesting that they give points for the qualifying. I was wrong earlier. For the qualifying, I think 10 points is a little bit much for points for qualifying. But that's just my take. It's like maybe give them for heat races or in the feature definitely, but maybe a 5 or a heat race winner or something like that. If they're going to give these extra points out, maybe you can give them out in a better way. And I was not at the game on Saturday here in Chattanooga for the Vols versus the Vols scrimmage, fall, whatever you want to call it. But I love baseball, but I don't know if I've ever seen a team where dark or like an orange and gray, the uniforms for me just, I saw a picture of them, it just wasn't for me. Like, where it should be called the orange and white games, what it's been called in the past, I thought. And they're really getting this smoky gray involved. Mm-hmm. So one team wore smoky gray, and one team wore orange and smoky. So I guess it was smoky versus orange. But like I said, I wasn't there. I didn't get to see it in person. But from what I saw, it looked pretty bad.
Well, I'm sad you didn't go. I wanted you to get to see the third last game played in AT&T Field. Just for the record, I mean, I'm a little disappointed you didn't go. You kind of let me down on that. But I'll cut you some slack. JP, you got a hot minute?
Yep. So this weekend in your favorite racing series, McLaren finally secured the Constructors' Championship, which is essentially the owner points. That's what actually gets the teams paid in Formula One. Yeah. But now, the 2 teammates from McLaren are going to absolutely race like hell for the rest of the year fighting for the Drivers' Championship. And the guy that's in the lead kind of got screwed by his teammate and team this weekend. And I have a feeling he's going to go on an absolute ass-kicking mission to piss everybody off and whoop everybody's ass for the rest of the year.
Their next race up is Coda. Is that
Yep.
correct? See, I keep up a little bit. I know what's going on. I'm assuming they go Coda then Vegas. I would assume.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think it's better than Vegas.
Real. Either way, we'll see what happens there. Congratulations to you on that. D-Watt found him a new favorite Formula One driver. He's a big Lewis Hamilton fan. For everybody that made it this long in the episode, be sure to call him and congratulate him on his new fandom of Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. So, all right, my one hot – get that off my screen. My one hot minute. So I was going to talk about the Dream Championship Week. We've already covered that. I still think that's a great idea. But what I'm going to talk about today is Jeff Gluck and Mark Martin and the fact that they just absolutely hate NASCAR and want it to die. This bull crap about the playoff stuff has to end. Leave it alone. We don't need to change it. I really don't even think we need to change it to a 4-race thing. The more I think about it, the more just leave it how it was, because we've seen JD, who basically had 2 bad weekends in this 3-race stretch for Lucas, and he got screwed. Like, if it's going to be that, just leave it how it is. 1 race, make it matter. If you change that, we're going to lose this cut race stuff. And this cut race is almost more exciting anyways. You're going to lose that Martinsville cut race. If you throw that away, you are throwing away your Hail Melon. Remember that. Like, you're throwing that away if you go to a 4-race finale. And it's just not – the build-up getting to it is what makes the championship the thing. I know I said last week they stole it from cars, but Jeff Gluck and Mark Martin and their negativity towards the current points format is contributing to the death of NASCAR. I know that they think that the points change is what killed it. Unfortunately, it's 2025. We've moved on. I love Mark Martin, all the respect in the world. Jeff Gluck, one of the best riders. I followed him for years, all the way back to wherever he's been. JeffGluck.com, all that stuff. I really do enjoy him. He's one of my favorite follows, but the negativity on the playoff system is disgusting, and you cannot be a real sport and change your championship format every 5 years. You just can't. And the NASCAR, unfortunately, has fallen into that, and it's just time to leave it alone for a while and let it cook, because I really think it's in a good place. So that's all I got on that. Quit being so negative when you are the biggest talking heads out there. That's my point on that. So
Hey, I got one more.
I got one more too.
For all the iRacers out there, this week is my favorite week of iRacing.
Oh, God. Week 13?
The Legends cars are at Lime Rock, and the Legends cars at Lime Rock is the single greatest combination on the entire iRacing simulator.
Well, go out there and get you a dub. D-Watt, what you got? I got one more too, actually.
One last thing here. My Champ 4.
We forgot to pick them.
Okay, I got some picks. Yo, go ahead.
Oh, God. No, you do yours. Okay. No, I'm glad you reminded us. Good call. Champ 4 pick. Let's go.
My Champ 4 is Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Joey Logano. And the winner, Ryan Blaney.
You don't have to pick the winner yet. We haven't got there yet. But what did you say? I want to put those numbers in here in my spreadsheet. We can read
Let's
what
see
people
here. Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, and Logano.
Man, now this is interesting, because me and you kind of, we kind of went opposite here. I like that. All right, JP, do you know, or do you need to look? Let me go first. All right, let's hear yours.
I'm going to take the 22, the 11.
You just said he's winning this week. Yeah.
The 20, and the 5.
And the 5. All right, I actually think, just from looking at the numbers, I actually think you probably have the best idea. I went 22, 12, 9, and 5. I just think Bell is going to get screwed probably at Talladega. I think Denny's also going to choke because he's Denny. He chokes. That's what he does. So
Denny will win Martinsville.
Denny is not going to win Martinsville. I bet you $100 right now Denny doesn't win Martinsville. I take the field over Denny at Martinsville right now, $100. No problem. You just let me know when. I don't know. I like D-Watt's picks because, I think they're pretty good. For me, I'm choosing to leave Toyota out with Bell and Hamlin both. Seems a bad idea. I don't know. Larson has sucked, but thank God he's gotten better. Chase has also gotten better. And I really think for them, like I said, I think the 2 weeks to get ready is going to matter. They just won the last mile and a half race. I know Vegas is not traditionally his best track. We'll see what happens when we get out there. It'll be a good race. I would definitely tune in. I'm assuming it's 400 miler. Be a good race to watch Sunday afternoon. So y'all be sure to tune in. watch them, see what happens. That win's going to be a big deal for whoever gets it for sure. So we'll see what happens. I'm not picking champion. D-Watt's already picked his champion like 6 times. Be funny if he don't make it, but he probably will. So I picked him too. So see what happens. Thank y'all for listening. It's been a great time. My one more little thing I was going to talk about is I just wanted to take a moment to call out some nonsense NASCAR media. This AI stuff is out of control. Talking crap about a local driver in the Knoxville area. Basically, it was an AI article that essentially said he got kicked out of a ride, which he did not get kicked out of a ride. This is the Garage 66 team. They change drivers all the time based off sponsorship and track. And basically, they were implying in their bullcrap AI article that he got the boot, and he did not. He did nothing wrong. They're always changing drivers in those back cars because they got to put whoever's got the money that weekend in the ride. So just wanted to defend him there. This AI stuff is absolute hot garbage on the internet. I don't know how they're ever going to control it. This podcast here at the Caution Flag Contemplations is not AI. We might be dumb, but it is real. So hope you enjoy it. Thank y'all for listening. D-Watt, you want to shut us down? I'll give you the right.
Here we go. Hammer down.
Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.